Dear learners, welcome back. In this lesson, we'll learn about ray group. इस सबक में हम रे ग्रुप के बारे में बात करेंगे. There are some interesting points to know and note about रे ग्रुप. रे ग्रुप के बारे में भी कुछ दिलचस्प मालूमात हैं जिनको हम यहाँ जान लेंगे. First thing we have to know, this group is named as a ray group. 4 alphabets belong to this group. They are ray, day, Z, J. They are ray, day, Z, J. 4 alphabets you have to remember. Ray, day, Z, J. And this is named as ray group. Ray group, like dal group, forms only 2 shapes, one full form and one short form. What we have to remember? Ray group, like dal group, forms only 2 shapes, one full form and one short form. When it turns into short form, when the alphabets belong to ray group, they turn into short form. When ray group turns into short form, it becomes foot-like. We know that dal, the alphabets belong to dal group. They turn into only one short form. And here is also the alphabets belong to ray group. They turn into only single short form. As remarkably, we know about dal group that it does not change its shapes in initial position. We know about dal group. What we know about dal group? Very good. The alphabets belong to dal group. They do not change their shapes in initial position. Okay? Instead, change in their final position. And we know that it has only one form that is similar to ray group. What we know about dal group? That it does not change its shapes in initial position, instead changes in the final position. And we know that it has only one form that is similar to ray group. dal group अपनी हालतें तब्दील नहीं करता है. कब? पहली पोजीशन में, जब वो पहले आएगा लफ्ज़. हाँ, जब हम लफ्ज़ बनाते हैं, जब पहला हर्फ उसमें दाल होगा तो वो अपनी हालत तब्दील नहीं करता है, बल्कि वो दूसरी, जब वो लफ्ज़ के साथ जुड़ेगा बीच में या आखिर पर, तो वहाँ पर वो अपनी हालतें तब्दील करता है. दाल ग्रुप does not change its shapes in initial position, instead changes in the final position, and we know that it has only one form that is similar to ray group. Alike, ray group does not change its shapes in initial position. Okay? Ray group does the same process of dal group. It also does not change its shapes in initial position, instead changes in the final position. Why we say final position? Because we know about the alphabets of lam, mim, be, jim. At the final position, they do not change their shapes. So what conclusion is here? In the second medial position, most of the alphabets change their shapes. So herein, what is the difference between the alphabets belong to dal group and ray group, meme group, or meme, or lam, or be group, or jim? They change their positions in initial and medial position, not in final position. When they come in their final position, they came in their full forms. But when they came in their first and second position, they changed their shapes. So the alphabets belong to this group does this process. But in Dal and Ray group, they do not change their positions or shapes in initial position, but they change their shapes in second and final position. First thing. And second thing is they come by both ways, in their full form and in their short forms. Okay, in their full form and in their short form. So we say a like ray group does not change its shapes in initial position. Instead changes in the final position. Likewise, other groups change in the middle as well. All the groups change their position in middle. So the difference is in initial and in final. Beji, Mim, Lam, they change in initial and middle. Dal and Re, groups of Dal, Zal. Re, De, Ze, J, they change in middle and final positions. Okay. Ray group works like Dal group. So we have to remember Ray group works like Dal group. By the same pattern of Dal group at the final or end position, it approaches by two ways, full form and short form. But in initial position, it only comes with full form. Instead of the groups about which we studied, for example, Lam, Mim, Be, Jim, they change their shapes at initial and medial positions. They change their shapes at initial and medial positions and remain intact in their final position. But Dal and Ray groups reverse this process. They reverse this process. And in the medial position, they work like other groups. I mean, they come with short forms, but they also come with full form in this position. It happens with the non-connectors, and we have told you that Alif, Dal, Dal, Zal, Re, De, Ze, J are non-connectors with each other. They are non-connectors with each other. They are not non-connectors, but we want to say when they will come with each other. Which alphabets? Alif, Dal, Dal, Zal, Re, De, Ze, J. They are non-connectors with each other, hence they do not change their shapes while used with one another. And one more and very important point we noted about Dal group is regarding short form. When the alphabet would be connected and look like ray shape, it is mostly alphabet of Dal group. What we say? When the alphabet would be connected and look like ray shape, it is mostly alphabet of Dal group, because in short form it turns into ray, and ray itself turns into other short form that is like foot. It's foot like. Just there was an exception while connected with some alphabets. The exception lasts here in the ray group as well. That is, some alphabets do not allow this change of shape. There are many alphabets which do not allow this change of shapes, but there are alphabets which turn the alphabet into short forms. This group is also different with each other by three ways. Okay, this group is also different with each other by three ways: by no dot, by one dot, three dots, and symbol of toy. What is different here in this group? That is symbol of toy. In this group, we used the symbol of toy. Why we used symbol of toy before? Very good. In Bay group, and that alphabet is T. Well done. That alphabet is T. And here we also use this a symbol of toy. I would like to remind you that such alphabets were created in a unique way. The alphabet toy was turned into a sign and was inserted above on Be, Dal, Re. We took three alphabets Be, Dal, Re and took the symbol of toy and inserted this symbol on these alphabets. By this way, they turned into Te, Dal, De. Insert this into the shape of a B group, it will become Te. Insert into Dal, because Dal has no dot, so it is simply we inserted Toy on it. It became Dal, and insert in this symbol into Re, it became De. So by this way they turn into Te, Dal, De, and help to pronounce the Sanskrit and Hindi based sounds. So remember, the difference between these four alphabets is, what are the four alphabets? Re, De, Ze, J. These are the alphabets. Re, De, Ze, J. So remember, the difference between these four alphabets is Re, no dot. Re, no dot. Re is written without a dot. Z, one dot. Z, one dot, and that is on above. One dot above. J, it is pronounced as J, like J, English J. J, three dots above. Three dots above. Re, De, symbol of toy, and that is on above. De, symbol of toy, above. So what is the difference and similarities between these? Re has no dot, J has one dot above, J has three dots above, De has symbol of toy. By these dots and by this symbol, we are able to identify these alphabets. We are able to separate them from each other by dots. Re, no dot. Z, one dot. J, three dots, and De, symbol of toy. Okay. So we'll see here the difference and similarities between Dal group and Re group. There are some differences and some similarities between these two groups. Remember, firstly, Dal group has three alphabets and Re group has four. This is the first difference. Three alphabets belong to Dal group and four alphabets belong to Re group. Okay. Secondly, in the medial and final positions, Dal group changed into Re shape and Re changed into another. We told you that when we will connect the alphabets belong to Dal group in its short form or in their short form, they will turn into Re like. In the middle and final positions, Dal group changed into Re shape. Okay, we have practiced about that and learned a lot about that. So we here say that in the middle and final position, Dal group changed into Re shape and Re changed into another. Re itself changed into another. Re has its own short form, and we told you that's wood like. We'll show you that. First form of Re group and second form of Dal group is same. Okay. So what we'll say, first form of Re group. Re has first form and short form. Re has full form and short form. So full form of Re group, or first form of Re group and second form of Dal group is same. This is similarity. When they are written in full form, they act differently. So we'll identify them when they will be written in full form. When dal will be written in full form, that has its own shape, that is wow like, and ray is when ray will be written in its short form, that will be entirely different. So we can identify these two alphabets. When dal will be written in full form, this will be separated from ray group, but when it will be written in short form, it will look like ray group. Dal and ray have no dot. We have to remember that dal and ray have no dot. Okay, why we say this? Because first form of ray group and second form of dal group is same. When they are written in full form, they act differently. So we'll say dal and ray have no dot. There is no dot on dal and no dot on ray. Well, why we say this? Because when dal turned into short form, it looks like ray. So you have to remember, they don't have a dot. Both don't have dot, but we have to separate them from each other, because they, when dal comes into short form, they looks like ray. Zal and Z have one dot. Okay, Zal and Z have one dot. When Zal will turn into short form, it will look like Z, but we have to know the difference. And second thing, what is similar in them, they are pronounced equally when used with long and short vowels. When we will use them with long vowels and with short vowels, they are pronounced equally. We have examples of Zal and Z here with diacritic marks of zabar, zer, pesh and long vowels. We'll see, insert them on Zal, da, di, zu, za, za, zau, zu, di, ze. Insert them on ze, they will be pronounced likewise. There is not any difference between these when they are pronounced. Za, zi, zu, za, za, zau, zu, zi, ze. So we say when they are pronounced equally when used with long and short vowels. When we use them long and short vowels, they are pronounced equally. And this is another similarity between Zal and Z, or between Dal group and Ray group. Thirdly, Dal and De use the symbols of Tai like Te, and they are also pronounced equally. Da, Di, Du, Da, Da, Dau, Du, Di, De. They are pronounced equally. This is one single pronunciation for these kind of words. So this is similarity. We have another word here, that is J, that has a difference, that it has 3 dots above and is pronounced like English alphabet J. When you will use this word, you will pronounce it like J like. So these were the differences and similarities between Dal group and Ray group. We'll see here, this group forms only these two shapes. These are two shapes here. You can see here these two shapes, one full form and one short form. One full form and one short form. All forms are in frequent use. We use frequently these all forms. When the first form comes with non-connectors, it does not change its shapes whether in initial, medial or final position. What you have to remember? When the first form comes with non-connectors, and we know about non-connectors, what they are. Non-connectors: alif, dal, dal, zal, re, de, ze, j. There are some other alphabets, so you have to remember, when the first form comes with non-connectors, it does not change its shapes whether in initial, medial or final position. It also does not change its shapes It also does not change its shapes even with some connectors as well. This is what makes it different from dal group. When the first form of array group comes with non-connectors, it does not change its shapes whether in initial, medial or final position. It also does not change its shapes even with some connectors as well. This is what makes it different from dal group. When it will work with some connectors, the words belong to, the alphabets belong to connectors category. There it will not change. The alphabet of ray or alphabets of ray group, they will not change their shape, and this is what makes them different. In initial position it always comes with full shape, like a dal group. In initial position it always comes with full shape. The second shape works with connectors and comes at second and final position. This is second shape, and we told you that it is foot like. The second shape works with connectors and comes at second and final positions, likewise dal group. Okay, we have basic and different forms of ray, day, z, j, their names and IPA standardization. We have short form here, one short form here of this group, and we have full forms of this group, we have names of this group and IPA standardization. We have, you can see here, ray short form, it's foot like. We have forms the ray, day, z, j. We have names ra, ria, ray. In some places it is pronounced as ra, and in some places it is ray, but correct is it is pronounced as ria or named as ria, but in Urdu it is called ray. Ra, ria, ray, dia, day, day, za, zia, zay. It is actually zay. Za, zia, zay. We have ja, jia, jay. Ja, jia, jay, jay, j, and there is their IPA standardization. So we have to remember some points about this group. There are some differences and there are some similarities with other groups. First thing you have to know about this group, 4 alphabets belong to this group. First thing. Second thing is it works like dal group. How dal group works? Likewise ray group works. Ray group works like dal group. What is the difference between these two groups with other groups? Of meme, lam, jim, meme, lam, jim, bay, that the alphabets belong to dal and ray group. They do not change their shapes in initial or first position, and the alphabets belong to lam, meme, bay, jim group. They change their shapes in initial and second position and do not change in their final position. And the alphabets belong to dal and ray group. They do not change their shapes in initial position, but they change their shapes in second and final position. Okay. And second thing is the alphabets belong to dal and ray group. When they come in medial and final position, they come by both ways, in their full form and in their short form. Third thing is when the alphabets of dal group turn into short forms. When the alphabets of dal group turn into short forms in their medial or final position or in their short form, they look like the alphabets of ray group. Dal looks like a ray because dal has no dot, ray has no dot, so they looks like ray. Zal looks like z. Zal has one dot, z has one dot, so they look like same. And da looks like day. Da looks like day. Dal has the symbol of toy and day has the symbol of toy. Both has the symbol of toy. Both use the symbol of toy. So, and they particularly dal and zay, they pronounce likewise. And they, when dal turns into short form, that looks like ray, za looks like zay, da looks like day. Da looks like day. So the rule here you have to remember, when these kinds of shapes will be used in second position, most probably the alphabet would be of dal group, not the ray group. What is the reason for that? The reason for that is ray also turns into short form. Ray also turns into short form and it makes it another short form. And second thing to know them is separate them. Separate them. For example, we have the word of jazbat. When we'll see this jim plus zal plus ba plus alif plus te, when we will separate this, it will be zal. When we'll connect this, it will look like zay, but in the separate form we'll observe that it is not it is not zay, it is zal. So these are the main differences between these alphabets and how these alphabets work or emerge when we form words from these alphabets. We'll know about this with examples of connectors and not connectors when we'll move to our next lecture. I trust this will be a great help. Thank you.